Hey guys, what's going on? It's Kevin Mano here on the balcony at My FM with Jack Antonoff. He's back.
How are you?
Good, man. Thank you for that handshake.
Yeah, it's nice out here.
You're still doing it. You haven't messed it up yet,
I
right?
haven't screwed it up yet.
I mean, I love your career arc. Honestly, I was a fan of Steel Train back in the day. I saw you guys play. I've been a fan of Fun for a long time. Now you're one of the most highly sought after music writers in the game these days. How did this happen?
I don't know. I just kind of kept my head down and kept working.
Yeah.
I just spent. I didn't go to dinner much. I kind of went to the studio instead. I
mean, are you still sticking to that game plan?
Between writing and production and the Bleachers records, I just stay.
It seems like you're just churning things out constantly. I hear your name attached to everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. You know what? I like doing it.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. It relaxes me and it keeps me centered to make work.
And you're not getting sick of it?
No. If I get sick of something, I start something else. And
another project?
Things kind of balance each other out.
I want to talk about Bleachers, obviously, but we just heard Beautiful Trauma the other day.
Oh, I'm really proud of that one.
Great work on that song.
I love that song.
Awesome
I love
song.
her and I love that song, and it kind of wrote itself. We just sat there and it came out.
Is that the first thing you and Pink worked on together?
Yeah, the first day I met her.
Yeah, how did you guys get connected?
Just sort of knowing about each other.
Yeah.
It just sort of, sometimes you just, something feels inevitable with certain artists.
Right. Did you coin the term Beautiful Trauma? Because that's also the name of her album.
No, that was all her.
That was her.
Yeah, we wrote the song and we were talking about relationships, and she was telling me all these stories, and we were kind of carving them out and putting them into the song, and that came out of her mouth, and I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah. So when you walk into the room with Pink, are you coming with ideas, or are you just a blank slate, just going to talk to her, see what she's thinking, and see what happens?
I'm always a blank slate, because any idea I could have, if I'm alone, it's Bleachers.
Okay.
If I'm with someone else, any idea I could have would be secondary to what the energy they give me. It'll create a much more authentic idea.
Yeah.
So I don't like to have ideas beforehand.
How's your dad's tooth?
Not fixed yet.
I think I want to link.
My dad's dentist was arrested when he was a kid for drilling where there were no cavities. So I think my dad's whole face is just filled with like messed up.
So when your dad was
fillings.
a kid, his dentist at that time.
Yeah, my dad was a kid. His dentist at that time was arrested for drilling where there weren't cavities. So he's just filled with bullshit fillings.
And so this happened, I think, backstage at Ellen. His tooth just fell out.
He ate a sandwich at Ellen, and half of his tooth just fell out. It was a great video. You got to link to it.
Hard bread or something? Was it a baguette?
It may have been like a yogurt. The tooth was ready to go.
Oh God! I want to link that video, your Instagram video. It's so funny.
Please watch this video.
In the blog.
If you do nothing else today, watch this video.
Watch it. And please give him my best. He seemed very bothered by the fact that, as anybody would, if their tooth fell out.
He's not happy.
So you were backstage at Ellen, and he was talking about going to Vegas. Was that for our festival, the iHeart Festival?
No, that was the day after. He was going back for some reason.
Okay.
But the festival was a blast.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. It always is every year. You were great out there. And I don't want to get too heavy or anything, but we're filming this right now, just like, not even 24 hours after the event in Vegas.
It's unbelievable.
At the country festival. And that's a stage you were on, 8 days prior for the iHeart Radio Music Festival, the Village out there. What are your feelings as an artist when you see all of this on the news and when you hear about this sort of tragic event?
Well, my first and biggest feeling is obviously gun control. Yeah. It makes absolutely no sense to me why anyone would need that kind of weapon.
No.
But then the second, more heartfelt feeling I have is that live music is... No one goes to see live music cynically. It's a very sacred space. Not that anyone deserves to be attacked anywhere, but it's not a political rally. It's not some huge display of weird commerce. It's where people go to be inspired and to be connected with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so whether it was Paris or Vegas, whenever something happens like that, that's my church is
Sure.
live music. So whenever something happens there, it's always sad, but there's something extra horrible about it because people went to be inspired and they went with such innocent energy. So I really just hope that politics aside, people can get together and get some real gun control ideas going on, because this is just horrible. And I would like it if the media would call it terrorism.
Sure. Yeah, of course. What do you think for the average concert goer that might be a little bit nervous now to go out to a show? Over the last couple of years, we keep hearing stories like this. What do you think is the answer there? What would you say to that person?
It's, I was living in New York during 9/11. You have to... You can't let that kind of fear win.
Yeah.
The world was and is occasionally a dangerous place, and you know, we have to be smart, but we can't live under a rock.
Right.
And especially when it comes to art and music, that's not something that we can give up on.
It's an unfortunate thing to have to talk about, but would you be up for more security at shows or anything?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I want everyone at my shows and all shows to feel secure.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if people have to go through a little bit more security to get inside, all I care about is that once you're in there, you want people to feel fully secure and taken care of. I mean, we do tons of stuff at our shows. We have gender-neutral bathrooms. We have tons of... My shows particularly have always been very important to me to make a place that are for everyone. Mm-hmm. Even if we're playing in states that had messed up rights for certain people, we always create an environment in our show where that didn't exist at our shows. So anything to make people feel safe.
Mm-hmm. And I got to say, if you haven't been to a Bleachers show, there's something about it. I remember I saw, I think it was one of your first couple of shows. It was at the Troubadour.
Yeah, that was
that the first one?
That was our first headline show ever.
It was your first headlining show. There's something about a Bleachers show. You make everybody feel like they're a part of it or something. I have that memory as like I was a part of something very special, and I wasn't just there. I was a part of it. You know what I mean?
Well, I never felt like my performances were something that people would come and watch. I felt like it was something that we would do together.
Yeah.
Because there's what I'm doing on stage, and then there's the energy from the crowd, and there's the ability for both of those things to create something bigger than either one of us, and that's what I'm most interested in.
Yeah. I saw you tweet. You were just was it a venue in Oakland? It's your favorite in the whole country?
Fox Theater, the best venue in the world.
Why is that?
It's the perfect blend of like beautiful old theater, but still open seating so people can get nuts. Like, it's perfect.
I've never been there.
Oh, you got to go.
So what's on the agenda now? I know you're still playing shows. I mean, are you still writing with all these friends of yours, regularly?
I kind of just do it all at once. Like, I'm on tour right now, but I'm also in the studio. I have like a mobile studio. It happens all at once. There's not a lot of separation for me.
Like when when you're recording your album, is it things that you actually go into a real, not mobile studio, or are you using things, vocals and sounds and whatnot, that you're recording on the road?
Oh, everything.
Everything.
Whatever.
I remember you telling
me
about that when the first album came out. That you just like late at night in a hotel room, you're making weird sounds to put on the album.
Whatever, you can't plan to make things that are interesting or inspiring. So sometimes the sound off a cell phone is better than the sound through the expensive mic. Whatever works.
That's cool. That's interesting. And I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I'm starting to hear a Jack Antonoff like your footprint in other artists nowadays. And correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I think that new Walk the Moon song was very inspired by Jack Antonoff.
I don't know. I didn't do it.
It's called One Foot.
Yeah. Well, there's a fun song called One Foot.
Yes, you're right.
But I don't know. I can't hear whenever people tell me that I have a sound, I can't hear it.
Okay. That's interesting.
So I just, because everything I do sounds very different to me, but people hear a thread, which is really cool to me.
Yeah, you're making a mark for sure. Thank you for being here.
Good
Jack Antonoff back on the balcony at my FM. This man's the best.